You've been told to stay top of mind so that you get more real estate clients. But what exactly does that look like? What does that even mean? How do you stay top of mind? How do you stand out from the crowd, especially with all of the noise that's going on everywhere right now? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode of The Ribbit Show. I'm Christina Ethridge with Leads and Leverage, and I help real estate agents create more time, make more money, and enjoy the journey. And I want to thank you for joining me. If you're liking this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to help me out, comment below and let me know, first of all, where you're watching from. And second of all, have you heard this before? Do you struggle with trying to figure out what that means, what that looks like? Does it mean more stuff? Does it mean less stuff? Whatever that is, let me know in the comments below. So I received a question inside of one of our groups, and that question was, what are the best real estate newsletters to stay top of mind? And if you guys know anything about me, I'm like, because the realtor translation, let me translate that question for you. So the question was actually written, what are the best real estate newsletters to stay top of mind? But here's the actual translation. This is what the realtor means when they said this. I've been told I need to stay top of mind. And I think that means sending an email or a snail mail. So what vendor can I use that will send these emails or snail mails for me? Seriously. And then the leap in logic begins when we're thinking that as a realtor. If I put things in front of people, they'll remember me when they're ready to buy or sell. So putting things in front of people equals clients, right? That's what we're going to dive into today. Because in the real world truth is top of mind is a myth. At least the way we're executing on it is. Hey, you guys, I see some y'all from the East Coast. Are you getting slammed? Slammed, I'm betting. Wet and windy North Carolina. Florence is letting you guys know that she's liking the rain. Sally was told that she heard top of mind when she first started, but what I was told to do was super ineffective or inefficient or ineffectual. I don't even know if any of those were words. Hi, Julie. Hi, Anisha. You guys are amazing. Again, if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up, helps me, and comment below and let me know if you've heard this, if you struggled to figure out how to execute on this in your business. So the real world truth of this is that top of mind as we know it is a myth. It is a beautifully coined phrase that unfortunately lives in the world of fantasy. So if you've ever seen the TV show Once Upon a Time, it's like fantasy creatures brought to the real world. Well, top of mind is living in Fantasyland. We can't even remember what we ate for breakfast, let alone who we should use for real estate. I mean, think about it. From restaurants to movies, two very close to my heart, restaurants to movies, you see the ad for it on TV, or you see a mention for movies, or you see an ad or a mention for it at a restaurant, or you see a new restaurant going up, but you forget about it when you're faced with making a choice immediately. I'm hungry. What do you want to go eat? Where do you want to go eat? What are those new restaurants we've talked about? I don't remember. Do you remember? No, let's go to Applebee's. Now, we don't eat at Applebee's, but that's what most people end up doing. They go to what they know. Applebee's, Chili's, Red Lobster, the chain stuff, right? And then we're like, oh yeah, we should have gone and done that. Same with you. We default to the standards that we've set when we aren't intentional. So how can you expect anything that you do or send out to stay top of mind with your customer when it's something so mundane and so infrequent as using your real estate services? We can't even remember it for a restaurant or a movie. How are we going to remember it for a real estate agent? And we get mad when in the moment they go to an open house and they're like, oh yeah, let's buy a house now. And they use the agent that's there at the open house, or they use the builder or whatever. They call a listing and do that. And we're like, dude, you know, I'm a real estate agent, right? Oh yeah. And you think that they don't love you. They can't stand you because they forgot. No, it's because we can't even remember what restaurant we want to go to or what movie we want to watch. It's because Top of mind doesn't exist unless you've done something or are something to them so valuable that you are who they remember. There is a very big difference. So we notice this, like I notice this about ourselves, which is why I've done the geeky thing. I am not like necessarily a detailed data person, but I have done this for restaurants and movies. I actually have a note in Evernote that I can put on from my watch, from my phone, anywhere I'm at. And I have restaurant names. So every time I see an announcement of a place, like a new restaurant, because restaurants come and go like crazy. So every time I see an announcement or just happen to hear about it, whatever, of a restaurant, I'm like, ooh, let's go try that. I put that on my list. And then when we're like, let's go out to eat, we're somewhere new, I go look at my list. And that's why we get to explore all these new things. And that's why we remember them, because I have set myself up to not have to remember them. Right? So that, and movie names, like I get frustrated. I watch movies so infrequently that when I do go sit down to watch a movie, most of the time I end up not watching anything because the search to find a movie is like ridiculous. I spend a half hour, 45 minutes trying to find a movie. I'm like, none of these are interesting. So I have a movie list. So I'm like, that's me. So that I create a routine. And if I can't remember that in the moment when we're faced with going out to eat, we end up sticking to our defaults. Like I said, if I didn't have a list available, I wouldn't do it. So I wouldn't go there. So again, how can we expect people to figure like these boring things like real estate and financial planning and taxes? I mean, all these things. How can we expect people to remember us and want to use us if we're not actually providing value that keeps us involved in their lives? Right? Mari does the movie watch list too. Yes, totally. Hello, Rainy, because of Isaac in Puerto Rico. Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, it's crazy. So what does stay top of mind actually mean? Because what does stay top of mind for you? Like really, what does actually stay top of mind for you? Whatever you need to do in the next few minutes, maybe. If you're like most of us or like me, you've walked into a room and can't even remember that, right? So unless you're like me and you have to write everything down because there is so much bombarding you that it takes an amazing amount of work to remember things, that brings stress on the body. So I have really, really gotten to writing everything down, which is why I love Evernote, because I don't even have to remember what list it's on. I just have to do a search for that one thing and it pops up wherever it's at. But I digress. Basically, top of mind is a myth and it's an excuse. What you talking about, Christina? Name that movie reference or TV reference. What you talking about, Christina? It's an excuse to not learn anything about building a business, to not learn anything about your ideal audience. It's an excuse to not actually truly be focused on building a business. That's what top of mind is a myth and it's an excuse. You knew I was going to dive into this really, right? Because I go into this space of our actions, our mindsets, what we like, the marketing crap that we spew out of our mouths that we're doing that it doesn't actually work. It's like a phrase that we've learned. And guys, we've all learned it. We've all said it. We've all done it. But when I think we refuse to actually think about what does top of mind mean? What does that look like? I think we do that because, well, we don't know, but we hear everybody else talking about it. So we're like, well, it must be something. And I just got to learn what that is. I'm here to tell you it's nothing. It like nothing. Doing things hoping that they will help you stay top of mind in your prospect's mind is an excuse to hand off the most important element of building a real estate business. And when I say doing things, I mean stuff that just because like I got to stay top of mind. So I have to have this newsletter. So I'm going to hire somebody, etc. It's an excuse to not dive in and dig deep and learn how to connect with people on the platforms that they're on. The way you connect with people now is not just face-to-face. Even when it was face-to-face, I'm telling you right now, even when it was face-to-face and there weren't platforms like this, the same percentage of real estate agents failed in the business because they wanted to outsource relationships. Seriously. They didn't want to have to go and actually dig in and get to know people. They just want to sell their crap. They want to puke sales posts all day long. They just wanted to just throw stuff out there. They wanted to go and shake a hand and get a deal. So all of this is an excuse to not dive in and dig deep and learn how to connect with the people and build a business. It's a way of trying to look at being a real estate agent as just a job with a checklist. Return calls, check. Paid vendor to send my emails, check. I paid a vendor to send my newsletters, check. I paid a vendor to do Facebook for me, check. I paid to put an ad in the golf course flyer, check. I went to a broker's open, check. I turned in paperwork, check. That's not a business. If you're expecting to build a business from checking off all of these things because you hired somebody to do this or do that, and you actually expect to help people with arguably the single biggest transaction of their entire lives, you're delusional. All of these checks are doing nothing for your business. Why? Because you're treating this like a job with a task list, and it's not. You're building a business. Yeah, we got to return phone calls. Yeah, we have to do paperwork. Yeah. But all the other stuff where we think we can just like check and outsource all this stuff, delusion. You're living in a land of fantasy. And I have to tell you right now, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you're living there, because that's what our industry is teaching us. That's what our industry is showing us. We hear people, we see vendors, we do it. Totally understandable why you're there. But if you just want to do tasks, please go join a team and do the tasks. There is nothing wrong with that. There is no shame in it, but you're lying to yourself and you're frustrating yourself and you're creating stress in yourself if you think that I should be getting clients and deals and whatever, just doing these tasks. It's just frustrating. And if that's where you want to be, I just want it to be like sequential and I want to be systematic, then go join a team. That's a good space to be in. That's a good thing to do, but you're not building a business. Don't expect to be a real estate agent and just check off boxes and expect to build a business from it, because you won't. You will be one of the 87% that fail out in 5 years or less. So how do you make sure that you are the first person a prospect thinks of when they want to buy or sell real estate? I'm going to tell you right now, it is not spending more money on more newsletters or spending more money on more ads or spending more money on more whatever vendor stuff. It's not. You don't need the perfect magazine or the perfect newsletter. There is no such thing. The first thing you have to do, number one, here's the meat and potatoes after the lecture. Well, the first thing you've got to do is you have to niche down. You're not going to like this. You're not going to like this because you're going to be going, but I want to work with everyone. Well, of course you want to work with everyone because you're desperate right now. I get it. Totally get it. I struggle with that every single day of my business. I am told by other people, you know, you have a really good message. You should go beyond real estate agents. I'm like, yeah, and become like everybody else. And I like, be not heard, be one of 5,000 people that are trying to reach the world through social media. Well, you need to niche down. Are you a listing agent or a buyer's agent? Yes, you can do both, but you can't sell both and expect people to remember you. People need one focus and one thing to remember you by. Which one are you? Name it and claim it. When you've niched down between buyers and sellers, go even farther. And I can already tell you I can hear your brains. I can hear your minds right now. I know exactly what they're saying. Like, but that means I can't, I'll lose business. No, the message that you're going to put out there is going to be very focused and very targeted. Very, very, very focused and targeted. So people know and remember who you are and what you do. Because Christina Ethridge, real estate agent, is like every other 2 million real estate agents in the country. Blah, 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 real estate agent, blah, 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 realtor. That's exactly the same. Zero reason. And no, creating a little tagline is not going to help you either. It's not going to. When you've niched down, I mean, do you guys remember the Condo King? The Condo King in Philly or Chicago? There's one in Philly. I'm specifically referring to the one in Philly. The Condo King. Hello? Is that a niche? He only works, he put out the message that he only works downtown condos, and he's the Condo King. Well, I'm here to tell you that in downtown Philly, there's a whole heck of a lot of more than condos. There's row houses, there's single family homes, there's luxury homes, there's all kinds of stuff in there. But he he does other business besides just condos. But that's what he chose to niche down to. I am this Condo King. He lists them. He'll work with buyers, but he is the listing agent for Condo Kings. Everybody knows who to refer to. Selling your condo? Go to Condo King. Oh, you're buying a condo? Yeah, you probably should go to him. Oh, you've got a luxury home? They end up thinking about the Condo King, even though he's really good. He might not do luxury homes, but try him anyway. So he gets it all. When you've niched down between buyers and sellers, go even farther. Do you work with seniors or first-time buyers? Homes or condos? Waterfronts or ranches? Yes, you need to be known for something very specific in order to grow big. You're not saying no to the other business. You're saying yes to this focus. You're saying yes to going viral. You're saying yes to people going, hey, that's who you want to go to. I have been working on that. What do I want to be known for in the real estate industry? I help real estate agents create more time and make more money and enjoy the journey. And I do that through helping them with Facebook. So when people are like, now there are other quote unquote expert Facebook people in the real estate world. They have a different outlook on this than I do. My focus is creating more time and making more money. You can leverage Facebook doing that. So I need to niche mine even more. I'm working on that. Second, number 2, you've got to create and build relationships. And you need to do it with with the invention of social media. This process is so much easier. You can scale it on the big, guys, you have it so much easier than I did. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when we were really going, you have so much easier. It is so much easier to become an influencer in your community via social media than ever before. But most people think that it's harder because they've never understood that business is actually about people, and people connect with other people. People do not connect with logos or slogans or brands, generic emails, generic newsletters. They connect with people. Now, some of you might be going, yeah, what about the Nike Just Do It? Yeah, well, Nike put out billions of dollars of ads and stories. The reason people connect with Just Do It is because they connected with the stories of people who just did it. So now that phrase is part of our jargon, right? So, and that's just a really brief example of they brought in people to connect with people. So you're connecting with their brand and company because the people connect with you. Their stories resonated with you. And here's the thing, people connect with people. And quite frankly, people are very self-centered. We all are. Everything we do and are interested in is about us. You're like, no. I volunteer. I do this. I do that. Yeah, but it's about you. It is. It's about what resonates with you. It's about what is powerful to you. It's about what you're passionate about. That's what I mean when I say it's about you. So they're not going to be interested in you until you're interested in what interests them. So what interests your prospect that you can contextually connect with your business? How can you help them move through life and be a valuable resource for them? How can you stop making noise and start actually helping and serving so that they see you, they hear you, they know you? I'm asking you these questions to get your brain juices flowing. I want you to stop looking for someone else to provide the answer for you, because there is no perfect answer. You are you. You know you better than yourself, and you darn well better know your ideal clients better than they know themselves. And I want you to start getting to know your ideal clients. What do they love about where y'all live? Start with what you love, like truly love. Dig into it. Stop telling me Oh, there's nothing to love about here. It's boring. It's dull. Figure it out. Find the good in it. Find the amazingness in living in the middle of nowhere. Find the amazingness of living in Detroit, wherever, like where everybody's vacating, where all the car places were. Find that amazingness and share it. Connect with people who are there. People are there intentionally. Sure, there's people not there intentionally, but don't just stop using the excuse that there's nothing good about it. Then get your butt out of there and go somewhere else. Like, I guess today I'm really not into hearing excuses anymore. Do you know why? Because I'm really giving myself my own booty kicking. And I shared a lot of this. We talked about this in the members group earlier this morning, but I'm done with excuses. See, one thing, Dave Ramsey, love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. One thing he says that is just absolutely amazing is that nobody's going to defeat the debt or change the habit or behavior until they get so mad at it that they make the changes that they need to make. They become mad at it and change it. So, and you are not going to succeed using social media for your business or anything online for your business until you just like get so mad at not succeeding. What do your people love about where they live? What questions are they asking in their heads and in their homes and in their communities and in their lives? In other words, get your butt out there and listen. Stop trying to sell. Just shut up and listen. Yeah. That's what it is. It means we actually have to listen to people. We can't just sell them, you know what? S-H-I-T. We can't just sell them crap. We can't just sell them our services because, quite frankly, real estate agents, realtors, you're a flippin' dime a dozen. And I realize that we go through hundreds of classes and hundreds of things saying, no, you're unique, you're valuable, you're needed, and this, and do your USP and do that. Guys, I've been through them all too. But here's the reality. The consumer sees you as a dime a dozen. What's the difference? And that's why we spend time trying to write our USP, our unique selling proposition, or our tagline, or our logo, or do something creative, and we don't spend time getting to know the consumer and building a relationship with them. Is it any wonder 87% of agents are out of the business in 5 years or less? And our industry is helping that happen. Yeah. So what do you need to do first? Again, you need to niche down. That's number one. You need to be known for something very specific in order to grow big. Number two, you've got to create and build relationships. Period. Plain and simple. You've got to figure out how you can stop making noise and start actually helping and serving so that they see you, they hear you, they know you. They want to be connected to you. I want you to stop looking for someone else to provide the answer for you because there is no perfect answer. And I want you to start getting to know your clients. In other words, get your butt out there and listen. Stop trying to sell. Just shut up and listen. That's it. That's what we've got today. So as I'm going through the comments, you guys are like really on fire. I love it. I want you to tell me, what was the most useful for you today? What do you totally disagree with me on? What do you totally agree with me on? What do you think you're going to change starting today in your business to get away from the myth of top of mind and become a valuable person, resource, etc. for your clients? Anisha is totally spot on. She says, with future consumers, especially Gen Z and millennials, guys, they can smell fake a mile away. They want a real connection with you. This is why I'm revealing more of myself, more of my struggles, more of what I'm going through in life, because there's somebody out there that can relate. This is why you need to be sharing. You know, if you don't like something about your town, do it in a way that doesn't like, just say, help people love your area. Help people love real estate agents, because believe me, it helps us all. Yes, Sally, talk to people and find out what they want. Sally said she's referring to people just throwing up stuff to put in front of people. Noise. top of mind noise. It was just lazy. It didn't require me to invest myself, so I got nothing. This is a big key that when you're not investing your time, and I realize that people are like outsource, but I'm here to tell you, if it is not possible to outsource a relationship, period. If you want to build a business that has come list me phone calls, and a business that has low stress, and a business that's consistent, a business that makes it through the market shifts. And guys, I have been through multiple market shifts, and arguably the biggest one in our history, not the depression, but the recession. I've been through it and excelled through it in real estate. I know what I'm talking about. And if you want to do that, you have to build relationships. You have to. Absolutely. And I'm not talking about you have to like personally know every single person. You don't have to personally get a birthday card out to every single person. You have to understand what your ideal consumer wants, needs, what they're going through, and help them. Like right now, I am talking to hundreds of you, like maybe 10 or 20 on this live right now, but in replay, I'm talking to hundreds of you. I am building relationships with hundreds of you. You can do the same thing. It does not just have to be one-to-one, which is why social media is so flippin' amazing. Because I can get to know so many of you, your questions, what you share in the comments, that helps me help you. So what are you doing to reach out and get to know your people? Sally's like, what I've been doing since learning from you has yielded results. I love that. And even if it doesn't get like a sale or a closing, you feel good. You know you're in the right space. You know you're in the right headspace. You know you're in the right heart space. You know that you're actually giving value. And it's amazing what it does. You guys are amazing. This was like the whole show right now through it. So it's a butt kicking, but it's an actual 2-step thing that you need to do to actually become, I don't like the word top of mind because it's not true, but become so valuable to someone that they could never consider using anyone else. That's what you're going for. Value. You want to be value. Yes, Mari. Not possible to outsource relationship. Needs to be in t-shirts, baseball caps, keychains. Love it. It's not possible. We need to figure out something for that. That's funny. That's awesome. Not sales or closing. Yes. Now you need to learn how to close the deal, quote unquote. But it's really easy when you're in a relationship with someone because, here's the thing. When people trust you, they trust you. And when you say, yes, this is a good house. This is a good thing. You should get this now. They listen because they know that when you tell them, no, you shouldn't do this one, because you've told them that. You've taught them what's good, what's not, what's real, what's fake. You've taught them that. You've taught them what to listen to through whatever you're doing to build that relationship with them. So when it comes down to it, they listen to you. They listen to you and they do what you say. With great power comes great responsibility. Don't be a knobhead and don't tell them to go buy things and do things that are just to benefit you. Okay? Don't be a knobhead about it. But you do need to, that's how you build a relationship. When people call you and say, come list me, they trust you on the price. They trust you on your charge, your commission. They trust you on the process. They trust you on the time frame. They trust you on all that because you've built trust with them over time. All right, you guys, thank you so much. You're amazing. Have an incredible day today. And I will see you Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for another episode of The Ruby Show. Bye, guys.